Welcome back to another day of your maths. Well done yesterday, particularly crossing that whole distraction of fractions. It's not easy, and you all did brilliantly. That knowledge is actually going to come in really well with some of the stuff you're going to do today, because we've got one more lesson on subtracting fractions. But as you can see from the question on the board, this is going to be actually subtracting two mixed numbers, and there's going to be a two-step approach to this, okay, which hopefully will make sense to you, which you can then apply on the second question, and then obviously on your own questions. So we have 5 and 2/3 subtract 3 and 1/6. Now, as you know, to be able to subtract, likewise to add fractions, we need a common denominator, and we haven't got that at the moment, but we know by now that thirds can become 6. So we have to multiply the denominator by 2, so we do the same to our numerator. So now we have 5 and 4/6 subtract 3 and 1/6. Now, this is good. We have two fractions that have the same denominator. So we can do in a minute 4/6 subtract 1/6. What we're going to do first, though, to help avoid any confusion, we're going to just focus on our whole numbers here. So we have 5 subtract 3. Because if we remove one of the whole numbers, we end up with the same style question we had yesterday. So we do 5 subtract 3. We know 5 subtract 3 is 2, and therefore we have 2 and 4/6 subtract 1/6. And then we can go on to complete this as we normally would, because 2 and 4/6 subtract 1/6, so 4/6 subtract 1/6 is 3/6, and then obviously we've still got our 2 whole. And we also know that this 3/6, as we're getting confident, can be simplified to a half. So even as you can see here, with two mixed numbers, actually the method to solving it is quite straightforward. So let's have a look at another example here. Here we have 4 and 1/4 subtract 1 and 5/8. So the same principle. We need those common denominators, and we know that quarters and eighths aren't a common denominator. So we can make our quarters, because we see the relationship between 4 and 8, into eighths. And obviously we've multiplied the denominator by 2, so we multiply the numerator by 2, which means we have 4 and 2/8 take away 1 and 5/8. Now you can see the difficulty arises that we have 2/8 subtract 5/8, but that is why we go with our whole number first. So we're going to subtract 1 away from 4. So 4 take away 1, which gives us 3. So we have 3 and 2/8 subtract 5/8. And this is where yesterday's knowledge is going to come in so handy. To do this, because we're going to be crossing over the whole, we need to convert this mixed number into an improper fraction. So 3 multiplied by 8 is 24. Add on 2 is 26. So we have 26/8 subtract 5/8. Now 26 subtract 5 equals 21. So we have 21/8, and that is our answer. But as we know, because we're dealing with mixed numbers here, we should be converting our improper fraction back into a mixed number. So how many 8s do we know go into 21? We think we've got 8, and then we've got 16. So that's 2. But the difference, the remainder between 16 and 21 is 5. So 2 and 5/8. So it works. So you can see how this is accumulation of everything that you've been doing across the last couple of weeks. Using those two examples to help you build up your confidence, you may need to go back and watch them a couple of times. You've got either questions on A or B to have a go at. So just to help you out, if you're going to do B, which those of you know who you should be, each column, so going down, equals 5 and 7/20, and each row equals 5 and 7/20. So you can use, for example, here, if I was to help you for this one, you need to do 1.5 add 1 3/5, and then take that away from 5 and 7/20 to give you that answer. That's why you only have 4 questions in total, because this is going to equate to, for example, 4, 5, and 6 on A. Okay, it's logical, it makes sense when you're going to, you just need to take your time and care in doing so. When you've done that, you think So explains, you'll think there are 3 colours of dog biscuits in a bag of dog food: red, brown, and orange. The total mass of the dog food is 7 kilograms. The mass of the red biscuits is 3.75 kilogram. The mass of the brown biscuits is 1/7/16 of a kilogram. What is the mass of the orange biscuits? Well, you've been given 2 masses there that you know you can combine, subtract them from the total mass, gives you your orange biscuits. You explain, Chiz and Caroline each have 2 sandwiches the same size. Chiz ate 1 1/4 of his sandwich. Caroline ate 5/4 of her sandwiches. Fred says Caroline ate more because 5 is the biggest number. Tommy said Chiz ate more because she ate a whole sandwich. Explain why Freddie and Tammy are both wrong. So we know here Fred and Tammy are both wrong. You need to tell us why. 1 1/4, 5/4. That's got to be your focus in your explanation. And then when you solve, Rosie has 20 3/4 centimetres of ribbon. Annie has 6 7/8 centimetres less than Rosie. So how much does Annie have? So that's your first question. What's the difference between them? How much more does Annie have? And then how much ribbon do they have all together? So you find out how much Annie has, knowing that Rosie has 20 3/4 and Annie has 6 7/8 centimetres less. And then when you've worked out that answer for Annie, you can then obviously find the total of Rosie's and Annie's amount of ribbon. We'll obviously look at some of these questions at 10 if needs be. But in the meantime, obviously crack on with it, try your best. Any questions, you know what to do.